I don't know what else to say. I'm just very impressed with this coming out of a battery operated tool. This is just crazy to me. Dremel recently released the world's first smart rotary tool, the 8260. You heard me right, this has Bluetooth connectivity and an app that you can control, monitor, and manage the tool with. Not only that, it has double the battery life, and the new brushless motor gives 20% more power compared to Dremel's most powerful corded rotary tool. This is absolutely crazy because this runs off battery. We are going to take an in-depth look at all the innovation going on here, and I am going to teach you how to use this tool with various home improvement projects. Before we get going, full disclosure here, this tool was provided to me for free and Dremel is sponsoring this video, but they are not paying me to say anything nice. They are simply paying for time on the channel. I've been using Dremel products for many years and I am excited to show you guys how to use this tool. In my own use, I have found that rotary tools end up being that one tool that is hard to replace. They are so versatile and can perform various tasks, whether you are using it for home improvement projects, arts and crafts, or professional applications. Before we jump into the tutorial, let's discuss the elephant in the room. Why did Dremel make a rotary tool that has Bluetooth capability? Simply put, because of the flexible options that it gives the user. Personally, I find these smart features very beneficial and we'll cover them in just a second. Let's take a look at the tool. The 8260 kit comes with a carrying case, and inside you will find the 8260, a 12-volt battery and charger, and a 5-piece accessory kit which includes cutting wheels. The battery inserts in the bottom of the tool with the Dremel logo facing away. When we flip the tool around, we see the user interface and control dials. At the top of the 8260, you will find the lock button. This is used in conjunction with the provided wrench for inserting and removing bits. Underneath the lock button, you will find the sliding power switch. Pressing this forward will turn the tool on. Notice how the digital display lights up, displaying the number of RPMs we are currently at, as well as the battery life indicator. Underneath the power switch, you will find the speed dial, which adjusts the RPMs. As I move the speed dial to the right, the RPMs increases, and as I move back to the left, they decrease. The speed range is from 5,000 to 30,000 RPMs, giving you a lot of flexibility depending on the project you are working on. The digital display will also display other information, such as a low battery warning or other notifications about the tool. As with all Dremel products, the overall design is ergonomic, giving you various grip options depending on the application. Another cool thing to note is the LED display on the side letting you know when the tool is on. The 8260 also comes with a built-in hanger. That way you can mount it above you and use it with a flex shaft attachment. The flex shaft attachment is sold separately, but I do recommend them. I personally use mine all the time. So what is so special about the 8260 that sets it apart from other tools? Number one, it has a brushless motor. This is a huge upgrade over the previous generations of Dremel tools. A brushless motor extends the life of the tool and gives you better motor performance. I don't want to go into too much detail about what brushes do, but they basically operate with a wire and carbon connector. The brushless motor is a huge upgrade to the 8260, making it better suited for heavier duty applications. And number two, the 8260 has 20% more power compared to Dremel's most powerful rotary tool, the 4300. This is crazy to me because the 4300 has a power cord, and tools that require power by a cord are generally more powerful than battery operated tools. This is a huge game changer because we are getting all this power in a compact tool, and you don't have to worry with power cords. This leads us to number three, battery life. According to Dremel, this has double the battery life compared to the previous cordless version, the Dremel 8220. This is largely due to the new 12-volt high-performance battery. Now, the performance will vary depending on the task you are doing. If you are constantly running this at high RPMs or are doing more intense work, you will see the battery drain faster. When you have completely ran the battery down to 0%, it will take 95 minutes for a full charge. Let's move on to number 4, the most fascinating feature of this tool, the Bluetooth capability. In order to connect to the 8260, we need to download the Dremel app on a smartphone or tablet and pair it with a tool. You will be met with a welcome screen. From here, hit Next and go through the different screens until you get to Connect My Tool. It will ask you to move the speed dial to the left and right to connect the 8260. Your app should find the tool right away. After you have successfully paired the 8260, this is where it gets interesting. You can now control, monitor, and manage everything from the Dremel app. Let's take a look. On the dashboard, you will see the battery life, runtime estimator, and the temperature of the tool. As you scroll down, you will find where you can select the RPMs manually. To use this, click on the RPMs you want and tap Select Speed. And you can see, as I turn it on, it is now running at the chosen RPM selected from the app. This is really cool, but I want to show you one of my favorite features of this tool. If we go back to the app and click on the Get Started button, it will give you a list of materials. For instance, let's say that I am working on soft wood. As I click this, it will bring me to an application menu. I am going to choose the carving and engraving. It is now going to tell me the exact Dremel accessories and bits that I need that would be best for a project with soft wood. Let's click on carving and engraving bits. Boom! You can see that the recommended RPMs are between 25,000 to 35,000 for a project with soft wood that will be carved with Dremel carving bits. Do you see this? All of the guesswork is being taken out of which bit you should be using for certain materials and what RPMs you should be running at for that certain material. The app does the research for you so you don't have to. With all the intuitive features built into the app, you can have confidence to go out and start tackling different projects. Now that you know how to use the 8260 and the Dremel app, let's get to the fun part and see how this actually performs with real-world use. I want this to be informative, but I am mainly looking to test the power and consistency through different home improvement projects you might find yourself doing. For the first test, I will be cutting 3/4 inch PVC pipe. I am using the Dremel vise, which I have attached to my work table. That way we can hold all the objects that we use securely. We want to make sure that we take the appropriate safety measures before using the tool. I am going to be using some safety glasses and also, when appropriate, a dust mask. I just made 5 cuts through Schedule 40 PVC, and I haven't tested this tool. I wanted to wait till you guys were with me right now so you would see the live performance. I am so impressed with how this tool performed. Another thing that hits me is how smooth this operated in my hands. It wasn't vibrating like crazy. I think Dremel did a good job at keeping the vibration down on this. That way it will not wear your hand out. For the next test, we are going to take this whitewood stud 2x4 and cut the corner off of it with the same cutting wheel. I just took the corner of this 2x4 off with this cutting wheel and it powered right through it. I did not have any hangups whatsoever. And if there was any mistake made, just like on the first test, it was me probably being a little unstable. But other than that, this thing went right through it. Now we are going to do a long load test. I'm going to take this cutting wheel and cut all along the side of this 2x4 to see if it maintains the RPMs. Honestly, I did not expect the 8260 to have this type of cutting performance, especially all the way through this 2x4, but I'm really trying to find something wrong with this tool because I want to give you an unbiased just look at this, but I'm having a hard time, guys. I think Dremel really hit a home run with this. Now we are going to do a test with the sanding drum. I did bring out my dust collector for this one, and my idea is to just bear down on this and to put a lot of pressure to see if this thing can lose some RPMs. Let's go. This isn't bogging down at all. This is crazy. We went through the paces and I absolutely abused this sanding drum. And no, I do not recommend you use a sanding drum like that. I am putting this through the paces to show you guys the power of this, and I am honestly surprised. The heavier handed that I went on this, just hogging down into the wood, it kept up with me. I don't know what else to say. I'm just very impressed with this coming out of a battery operated tool. This is just crazy to me, but we aren't done yet. Let's move on. Now we are going to use the Dremel 570 bit and going to go through the grout right through here and through here. Okay, here we go. The 8260 removed that grout without any problem with that 570 bit. My cameraman actually made this tile for me and put some siliconized grout around here. I went over this 2 separate times. As I was going through there, I kept a steady pace and the cut stayed consistent with me. Now we are going to perform one of the hardest tests in my opinion. We are going to cut through this 3/8 size bolt with the easy cutting wheel. Now, according to the Dremel app, the recommended speed for steel is 25,000 to 35,000 RPMs. So I'm gonna keep this around 25,000. Okay, well, that was very interesting. What impressed me the most, above all else, was the consistency and the torque that this gave me as I was cutting through the bolt. And when you are working with hardened steel like this, you have to let the bit do the work for you. But as far as the performance of the tool, it went right through it, and I didn't experience any power issues with this at all. Now we are going to cut through some electrical conduit with the easy metal cutting wheel. And my idea is to cut this off and then deburr it using an oxide stone. One thing you want to do after cutting conduit is to deburr it. And to do that, I am using the aluminum oxide 952-bit from Dremel. We are going to go through here and knock off all the rough edges on the inside and outside. I am using the same bit and RPMs for cutting through this copper pipe. This is also much easier to cut than the conduit. As expected, this is able to cut right through the nails in this old 2x4. The metal cutting disc is also useful for getting out strip screws. Now that we cut a straight line through the screw, we can retrieve it with a flathead screwdriver. We can also polish different types of material. I have this copper pipe here and this red oxide polishing paste. Just want to get a little bit on there. I'm going to polish from here on out to the edge. And you can see where the buffing wheel is getting dirty from moving that surface area of the copper, and I can already see the brightness coming through. Okay, now let's wipe this off. Wow, looky here. You can already tell the difference. This is the back, and on the front is where I polished. Wow, look at the difference there. So we powered through every project without any power loss whatsoever, and I can honestly say I'm impressed. After all that testing, we still have some battery life left. Now for the big question, should you buy the 8260? If it meets your needs, I think it is a fantastic option and you are not going to go wrong. This tool was designed for hard use around the home, and through my testing, it sold me. Especially the power that came from the brushless motor. If I were to foresee any problem, it could be the price. At the recording of this video, it is currently $169. This might be a deal breaker for some people who are on a budget, but the way that I personally view this type of thing is what I am getting from the tool. There are cheaper options out there that might work just fine for you, so weigh your options. Tools are an investment for me, and I have spent way more than $169 on rotary tools in my line of work. For the innovative features and power that this has, along with its ability to go anywhere without a power cord, I do believe this is well worth the money if your budget allows for it. The 8260 is currently available at the Home Depot. I will post a link below for you to check out. Thank you guys for watching, and a big thank you to Dremel for making this video possible. You guys don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. It would mean a lot to me. I'll talk to you guys soon.